So young, Steve. I think it's easy to be bored and uninterested in the MCU these days with the 117 films they made and all the adventures that we've been on and cared/not cared about.
Mm-hmm.
But Thor Ragnarok came out like, what, 5 years ago? And this little
fairly
independent...
decent, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago. This little weird independent New Zealand director, Taika Waititi, did it. He's done a bunch of stuff. Jojo Rabbit, where he played Hitler, which was insane.
He did the vampire one.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows or whatever it is.
Have you seen Boy? Boy is actually a really good movie.
I haven't, though I saw it come and go.
Yeah, he plays like a deadbeat dad set in New Zealand. Kind of like a kid's coming of age story, but also dark. And they
Is it like Once We Were Warriors sort of shit? Like a slice of New Zealand life?
Yeah, but like kooky and funny rather than
yeah.
violent and brutal.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, let's go and see Thor Love and Thunder, because they gave him a chance.
I liked Thor Ragnarok. Right?
Everybody liked Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
That's why this happened.
Yeah.
Because normally these people get like a trilogy, like Iron Man, Captain America, and this is number 4. So yeah, just coming straight out of it, I feel like I need to see it again to understand what the fuck was happening. But it was like some weird mash of all these different tones and all these different scenes and a lot of shit going on. Some I liked, some I didn't. Some was insane.
I think the Thor Ragnarok thing, it was almost novel, right? Like the seeing what is obviously Taika's style of like comedy, right, play out in a Marvel movie, right? So you have the sort of like the them talking, and it's, you know, they'll have a quip or something. It's not necessarily funny, right? Though, like, this is Thor Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, it's like quirky.
It's humorous.
Yeah.
You go, oh yeah, that's funny. Yeah, whatever, right? And sometimes they'll have a hit, and sometimes they'll have a miss.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's fair,
and that's fine,
fair.
right? But I think there was a balance in Thor Ragnarok. I don't know whether it was the fact that it was novel or not, but what I found in this one was he was doing the exact same thing, which is fine. That's his style, but I felt like the amount of time, like all the dialogue, kind of got to a point where it kind of felt like they were just throwing jokes at us, and it's like, okay.
Even in like some of the more serious fight scenes, they were still quipping.
Yeah,
it's like the only way they can communicate is through quipping.
Well, that's what it was. That was all the dialogue,
Yeah.
basically, besides anything that was sort of corny.
Or the terrible emotional
anything that was serious was like corny and hammy and stuff,
Yeah.
right? And the rest of it was that style of humour.
Yeah. He did, like, in an interview, I seen reference, like, 80s love dramas and
That's
stuff.
fair, yeah, I got
he
that.
was
yeah.
going for that, which doesn't kind of excuse how much I dislike that genre. But yeah, so we start off with Christian Bale, a little prologue thing, that was cool. And then my favourite scene was just like the first opening scene,
I
the
agree,
Guardians
yeah.
of Thor. That could have been like the tone of the entire thing, like a ridiculously heightened, over the top 80s like action.
That's kind of what I thought
with
it was going to
fantasy
be.
and insanity. Like, it's like, yeah, just pushing everything, heightening it to like fucking, I wouldn't even say 11, I'd say like 12.
Well, you're using your crazy setting, right?
Yeah, and you've got
using
this
it
god.
to its full advantage,
Yeah.
right? That was always the thing, right? It's like, what are they... Fine, we did all the sort of superhero stuff. What are we doing now with the setting? And Thor Ragnarok was good, right? In that aspect as well, right?
Yeah.
It took some interesting things from here, and we did some cool stuff with it, right?
Shit we hadn't seen before.
And we did that here, same thing,
Yeah.
right? But it's execution, really.
I think it's trying too much. Like, Ragnarok wasn't written by Taika, he directed it.
Right.
So he had like the base script, and then on top of that he did like his improvisations.
Yeah,
and
which was
that
good.
Stuff. But yeah, here where he's written the script, he seems to have pushed it too far, maybe?
I agree. Yeah,
in a lot of places.
So the point, I think the point was always that these films have like what is essentially a contractual obligation to have certain elements, right?
Yes,
which
that
is
has been discussed.
the fight scenes and things like that, right? They're contractually fucking obligated to do that, right?
Well, I know Black Widow, like for sure, when the director like got it, it's like, we're already like in previs for these fight scenes. We're already making them, so they kind of write the script around the action scenes.
Which is kind of what
I don't think that's what happened here, but yeah, I'm sure Marvel would have interjected some elements.
I I think the point is right. Is that we're going to expect that, and it's how well that sort of integrates into the rest of the movie, right? So you're going to take those things that you have to do, and you're going to make them your own, and you're going to weave stuff around it, right? That makes it that lessens the slogginess of it somewhat, right? The Hollywood schlockiness of it, right? You're either integrating it into some corny sort of 80s throwback or something, which is fine, right? Or you're integrating it into zany sort of like Guardians of the Galaxy sort of thing, right? And you're doing that, and it's about execution of how well that what your spin on the contractually obligated stuff is, and how well it flows with everything else. So we get our really cool intro, right? And I love Christian Bale. I think that's really cool. I think it's a great premise. We're going. We get introduced to bloody what's her face,
Jane.
Yeah, Jane, right?
And the sister,
right? And we're gonna have
two broke girls.
We're gonna have obligated sort of setup for her and things like that. That's fine, right? And then we have this huge stretch of setup, right, with dialogue. We have a fight scene in the middle to set up a premise, right, with the children and the monsters. And then we're talking, but we're not talking. We're fucking quipping.
Yeah.
We're quipping and we're quipping and we're quipping. And it's humorous, except for the bits that aren't humorous, right?
Yeah, so I think the best thing about Thor Ragnarok was it didn't have Jane. And now, for some fucking reason, Jane's back. She's got cancer? She's Thor?
Nah.
I don't know.
I was looking forward to, because we all knew that she was coming back as Thor, right? That's a comic book fucking staple of switching it around. Right, but and I was kind of interested to see what he'd do with it, right? How he'd integrate it into his zaniness and breathe new life into what is essentially a throwaway character from the previous movies.
Bland, generic, 2D female scientist archetype.
And they basically, and he tried as hard as he could to basically make her kind of like a dumb Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's.
I don't know. She has cancer, and we care. Because she has cancer?
No, well, we don't care.
But that was all she did, right? That's all she brought to anything. Thor loves her still, which is weird, and she has cancer.
Yeah, the love thing...
They don't have chemistry. They never had chemistry.
Well, that was the problem.
No one ever cared for that relationship or wanted them reunited.
That was the problem with the first two movies, right? Is they were really bland.
The first two and the fourth.
Yeah. You didn't care. There was nothing interesting about their relationship, so now we bring it back, and it's like, okay... What are you doing with it now?
Still nothing interesting. Well, I don't know. She's dying of cancer? Is that interesting?
That's her character arc. Huh?
Did she even die at the end? What the fuck happened?
I don't know what happened there. Something weird happened. Yeah, well, that was really dumb as well.
Yeah.
And it's like living happily ever after is a staple of hammy, corny, fucking 80s shit. That's fine. It doesn't make it good, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all, I don't know, I don't really know what to feel about the movie other than, like, oh yeah, okay, it was, I don't know, right? I don't know, what do you even say? It wasn't Thor Ragnarok.
No, it wasn't Thor Ragnarok.
I had a lot of the same elements as Thor Ragnarok.
I would give it props for not being like Black Widow, like a generic action thing. Maybe an overreach and like ability in some places. Some stuff worked, some stuff felt flat. Very tonally all over the shop. It was, I think we need to cut out Jane, get Christian Bale doing his thing, because he had like one scene where he's delivering dialogue and it was like super compelling, just the way he was articulating. And
was that the one where he's in the cage?
Yeah,
that was
with
good.
The kids, or even when he has the tentacles around them.
Well, that was actually a really interesting example of having a serious, what is essentially a serious scene, and throwing comedy in there, right? Where he's doing with that. He likes having his head thrown off, and
but
then
it's horrific.
Yeah, it's like horrific comedy.
But then all that great stuff with the kids in the cage and all that is just like taken away at the end when they all become Thors.
Yeah, well, that's
and then
dumb.
you're like, well, there's zero tension, there's zero suspense. If you actually had the kids in peril in the third act, I would be emotionally invested. But it's just like, the kids are gonna be fine. It's like, no, actually have the monsters like march on the kids. And have the kids get slaughtered.
Subversion of expectations, you reckon? Yeah, well, no.
I mean, obviously you can't do that, but like have the kids and the monsters like have tension and suspense at the very minimum.
Yeah, well,
don't turn them all into baby Thors.
Aren't they supposed to be the fucking the MacGuffin or whatever? Right? We've got to save the kids, or that's the tension, right?
Yeah,
and it's all just
immediately defeated as soon as the third act starts. Like none of them are in danger anymore. Well, I don't care then.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. So, and it's like. I don't know. He's obviously a good director, right? Because we had that scene in the Shadow Realm or whatever with the planet.
Well, I liked some of it. Like, I think overall it's confused, but like I like the Zeus stuff with Russell Crowe.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
I like the opening scene. I like the first black and white fight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. By the end of it, where I find myself not rooting for the characters, right?
I was out by the end.
Yeah.
Even with Christian Bale, and he didn't want to kill all gods because all you need is love.
All you need is love. Yeah, well, that. Yeah, it just sort of all fell apart, right? The whole fucking. They didn't defeat.
Well, I didn't care for Thor and Jane, and then the building on Thor and Jane in the end. We didn't get enough with Christian Bale really to care for him or his daughter.
Yeah.
He was barely in the movie, so I don't feel emotional investment towards him or her. And then, like, what else are we doing? They like tease Valkyrie's death, she doesn't die. They tease Korg's death, he doesn't die.
No, well, he doesn't die.
We don't even know if Jane died or not. There's no consequences for anything. The kids don't die. They're all baby Thors.
Even the daughter from the beginning doesn't die.
Nobody dies. There's no consequences.
Oh,
no
Zeus dies.
Zeus dies. It's all quippy. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe have it like that 80s romantic thing, but then it needs to have consequences, like kill Valkyrie, or for fuck's sake kill Jane, or have Christian Bale like do something of consequence.
I think the problem is, and this brings back to the contractually obligated stuff, is it's essentially those parts are you're treating it as if they're stakes, right? So it's what he's trying to do is have a comedy movie with stakes, right? And you can do that.
Yeah.
Obviously you can do that.
I wonder if like Marvel would let him kill Valkyrie, or are they like, no, she's going to be in the next 100
No,
movies.
well, yeah, of course, right? Yeah.
Jane, you can kill Jane. Surely you can kill Jane.
Well, who knows? We don't know what the fuck.
Korg, you can kill Korg. Maybe they're not. Maybe Korg.
Well, he's the companion character. Well, he couldn't do the voiceover at the end if he was dead, right?
But don't tease his death if you're not going to kill him.
No, that's right.
Don't tease Valkyrie's death if you're not going to kill her. And don't tease Jane's death for 2 hours if you're not going to kill her.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was lots of death, right? Well, teasing death, right?
And then nobody died.
Yeah, none of our fucking... We didn't even have a red shirt, really.
No.
Yeah, there was no red shirts that were along for the ride to fucking get bloody blown away, you know?
No.
Yeah, so I don't know, you know? Thought Zeus can't be that powerful if he can't kill just like a generic, well, just a random fucking stone guy, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, from a story perspective, it's just not.
It doesn't further anybody, really. Well, I guess Thor has a kid now. What the fuck's going on with that?
Yeah, well, that was all weird. It's like the wish doesn't make sense or whatever, or she has powers.
Christian Bale wished that his daughter came back as a demon monster.
Has powers of eternity or something.
Then he died? I don't even know why he died. Why did he die?
Well, they revealed right at the end that he's dying, right? Oh, well, no, I think it was from the curse of the sword or whatever, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, so... But they didn't really, I don't know, they didn't, it's funny actually, they mentioned the curse of the sword, but they didn't really, all it did was make him evil, but he was already made evil by what happened to him, right? So it didn't really curse him or anything, you know what I mean?
It didn't cure his heartbreak. That was the curse of it. It gave him powers, but he still missed his daughter. Doesn't matter if you got Mjolnir real made, you're still dying of cancer.
Yeah. Well, that was a whole...
Hope? I don't know.
That was a whole... It was basically like an excuse to get her into the Thor suit, right?
Well, yeah, it is comics. It happens in the comics.
No. But the cancer thing was an excuse to get her into, because it didn't amount.
Well, if she doesn't die of cancer,
no.
Cancer is inconsequential as well.
She originally went to seek it out because she thought maybe it would cure her, right? Yeah, and it called to her or whatever.
Yeah, but it couldn't cure her.
No, so it was
Did
just
she die?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Should we have stayed for the after credit scene? Is that the brutal cancer death scene?
Is that where Thanos comes back?
No.
Thanos comes back like 1,000,000 times in the
They
comic
all
book.
do.
Yeah, I know.
Wolverine dies 100 times and comes back 100 times.
You can't really complain about the character death thing, you know what I mean? Not in these
It's a
sort of
staple
movies.
of comic books,
Yeah.
but then it's like, yeah, what's the point of anything? No tension or suspense.
You've
Why
just-
will I care when Loki dies again?
It's like you can, there's nothing drawing you into the movie, right? It's like, from a writing perspective or a character perspective, what's drawing you in, right? Oh, well, a character we don't really know, especially if you haven't gone and rewatched the first 2 Thor movies, right? He's got cancer. Oh, that's sad, I guess. Oh, well, you know, they had a bad breakup. Oh, that's sad, I guess. Right, but that's all told through fucking, like, flashbacks or whatever, right?
I feel like we've seen enough of that in the first 2 to understand.
Well, they had to reset it all up, right?
In case you hadn't seen the first 2?
Well, no, but we didn't see the breakup stuff, I guess,
I
right?
guess,
Yeah. So you need to set all that up, which kind of makes it... Well, that's really a bad way to fucking establish your 2 characters, the conflict between them, their relationship,
Flashback.
right? Yeah, flashbacks or whatever. And casually mentioning what happened, right? Oh, you left. No, I left. No, you left. No, I left. It's like, okay.
I don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't
want
care.
to see Christian Bale murder kids.
I liked fucking, Christian Bale was really great. I don't know. His motivations were clear.
His daughter died.
Yeah.
Gods didn't answer it.
Yeah, well, that was really
I think they
great.
fucking,
Yeah.
laughed in his face.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
fucking amazing.
So yeah, I think in conclusion, I liked parts of it, really confused and muddled tonally. I'm kind of really confused and muddled.
It got some giggles out of me, but
There were funny moments, there were exciting moments, there were good moments.
But if you spend like an hour throwing quips and comedy at me, I'm probably going to find some of it humorous and giggle a couple of times, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't expect it, you know?
Yeah.
If you constantly,
Yeah.
you know, oh, that's really absurd, you know?
I liked how outrageous it was in moments too. They were like really over the top, insane, high fantasy moments.
Well, that's kind of what you wanted, right?
That's what I wanted the whole thing to be.
Yeah, sort of.
Intense, over the top, ridiculous.
Well, you kind of
80s action, not 80s
You kind of want Guardians of the Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
You want to go to a bunch of different crazy locations and meet crazy
Move
people.
from one action set piece to the next action set piece.
Yeah. So yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I think he missed the mark on the character development side.
Yeah, even Thor, like, where does Thor come out of it? He was depressed because all that shit happened to him, and then he's in love with Jane again. But then Jane's dying of cancer, and then he gets a daughter? Like, what the fuck is his emotional arc?
Well,
He's healed now because he has a daughter?
Well, he got over Jane's death, right?
Did Jane even die? They didn't show Jane dying, did they? Or did they?
she dissolved into golden sparkles.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right, yeah,
his
I
arms?
was zoning out by that.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah,
So
yeah.
she did die.
Yeah.
Jane died. Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
So that was his fucking thing, was rekindling his fucking, or repairing his relationship.
And now he's raising the daughter of a monster.
Yeah. Who herself is like a monster.
Yeah.
What was the kid's arc? I'm awake now, my dad died,
We
I
don't
don't
know
care.
the kid. We know nothing of the kid.
Yeah. Which was a bit fucking
It
strange.
was a bit weird.
Yeah. And then like it's all sort of told via the funny voiceover from the New Zealand guy.
Yeah.
And it's funny
The
because he's
Kiwi
New Zealand.
accent,
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of humorous, sort of. It's a bit weird.
It's different. It's different?
Yeah. It's okay. Well, so I think it just leaves you with a sort of weird feeling. You
Yeah.
know? You go, oh, okay. Yeah.
That happened.
That was a movie. It was maybe better than some of the staple movies that we've seen previously.
Well, it's like the prequels, I guess. They're terrible, but at least they like tried to do something
I
different.
liked Multiverse of Madness.
That was alright.
I don't know. I maybe actually like that more than this. Maybe.
That was more streamlined and like solid as a
and they
plot.
had jokes in that.
Yeah.
Like, it was a bit funny.
Yeah, this is just I don't know, all over the shop kinda.
Yeah, it was all over the shop, right? Yeah, you have big sort
It's
of.
great. It's funny. It's boring. It's confusing. It's
Well,
irritating.
I think what you zone in on is, are the characters written in such a way to drag you in that you give a shit about them?
nah.
Well, then it's all lost, right? We've discussed that before. Plenty of fucking movies that drop the ball with their character development.
Yeah. You don't invest in the characters. You don't invest in what the
'Cause you're
characters
like-
are doing.
Because you're like a human being,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I guess we're supposed to like Thor.
Well, I like fucking the new Taika Chris Hemsworth, but again, he doesn't...
Quippy Quipson.
Yeah, well, now he's just Quippy Quipson, right?
Mm-hmm. Sad Quippy Quipson.
Well, all his drama went on through the montage in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he got over his depression and now he's back.
That's what I wanted to see. I want to see him depressed with the Guardians.
Yeah, that might have been interesting.
Not lusting after cancer-dying Jane.
Yeah, and then confused. That's right, confused about her being Thor, and he's torn or whatever. I guess
he's envious.
Like
he's jealous.
He had development, but I just don't know whether it fucking.
He went on emotional roller coasters, really, but for what?
Yeah, for what reason?
What did we come to?
Yeah.
Why did we have this adventure?
Well, we had it because we needed to have it, right?
Did we?
Well, yeah, they were going to do it regardless.
Because they're just
it's about whether or not they've got a good director on board, right?
Well, Taika is a good director.
I don't know that he's a good writer.
No, he's a good writer.
Okay.
Maybe not with this. He wrote like Jojo Rabbit, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Boy
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hunt for the Wilder People.
I don't
know. Sometimes people miss the mark.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's gotten critical acclaim. I just don't know that they went in a direction with Jane that maybe I would have preferred them to.
I think cut Jane.
I would do something interesting. That was the whole teasing of the premise, right? People criticised, the Thor's going to become a woman. I don't care about that. I'm more interested to see how he takes a bland, generic character and does something interesting with her, right? And he didn't really do anything interesting with her.
That's fair.
So what is that then, you know?
A dropping of the ball?
Maybe.
The ball has dropped. It hasn't hit the ground. It's just like hovering in the air. Schrodinger's ball. Not quite smashing.
Not
quite landing.
It was a mediocre movie, huh?
Yeah, but not mediocre in a sense of like being bland and boring and cookie-cutter, but mediocre in a sense of hit and miss,
tonal mismatch.
Yeah,
pacing problems,
confusion and insanity and
pacing problems and fucking writing problems.
Tonal issues.
Yeah.
Lack of character development,
which are kind of. I don't know which one's worse, right? Boring or fucking... probably boring is probably worse. Yeah.
I'll pay a risk that fails any day of the week other than just...
I'd agree, and that has to be applauded, right?
Yeah.
They've taken something that they would have done anyway and gave it to somebody that tried to do something interesting.
New Zealand guy.
Yeah, well, it's like James Gunn all over again. It's like James Gunn, right? Doing fucking... You know, maybe he'll fucking have a bit of a mismatch with number 3. Yeah,
we'll see.
So, I don't know. I don't know that I'll give it a rewatch. I might rewatch Thor Ragnarok again. I've seen that a couple of times.
That's fair.
I like it.
That's fair.
It's cool. Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok was surprisingly fun.
It had a bit of fucking Hollywood bleh, you know, especially at the end, right?
Yeah.
But I like Kate Blanchett, right? And fucking, you know, she's really evil.
Carl Urban and stuff.
Yeah, I like them. And
Jeff Goldblum.
I think the quip stuff was kept to a sort of.
It worked better for some reason, and maybe that's because the plot was more like standard.
It had a pretty wide cast of characters, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Viking girl. I don't know how much she's just kind of blunt and rude and like she acts. She's fucking brutish.
Yeah.
But that's just her character, though.
Yeah.
That's it. That was her character, right?
Well, in the first one, Ragnarok, not the first one, I guess, the third one, she was like a drunk. And she was stumbling around drunk everywhere.
She was disillusioned and stuff, and her arc was coming back and trying to redeem
Queen, but we didn't even really get a lot of that.
No, well, we skipped
got
over.
A little bit. Like Asgard is like a tourist destination. That's a cool idea.
That's funny, yeah.
She's like, trying to run the place now, but she's disenfranchised with the bureaucracy. We didn't really even get we got like tastes of that.
Yeah, we got tastes of that, yeah.
She didn't fuck all.
Like, that was funny.
They baited her death and she didn't die.
That was funny with fucking Matt Damon and Sam Neill and what's his face doing the thing. And the tourist location, I get. And you're right, that is exactly it, right?
It's like all these hints of ideas that could have been good that weren't developed.
No,
because there's so much happening so quickly.
You've only got so much time to do so much, right? I like the fucking, I think that the absurdness of the axe.
Yeah, getting jealous.
That was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah. But then it's
weird and odd and kooky.
Like coming out of the fucking... That was funny, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So, it's just sort of looking back on those moments and going, the sort of dips and peaks of things that I enjoyed, and then you go,
overall.
You know, oh well, they're telling jokes for 10 minutes, so that's not landing. That's not, oh, that's humorous. Oh, that's not landing. Okay, big fight scene. Okay, now we're back and we're doing the same thing again. You know, and then, oh, it's fucking Russell Crowe. That's funny, right? Oh, he's naked. That's funny. Oh no, Crowe got fucking hit by the thing. Oh no, he's still alive. Okay, action scene. Da 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 da. You know.
Yeah. In conclusion, Thor: Love and Thunder was hit and miss.
Yeah, hit and miss. Yeah. The maybe better than fucking a boring Marvel movie. Probably better.
Yeah.
But just maybe just too fucking hitting and missing, you know?
Yeah. Too Taika. He turned it up to 11.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know, but also some of the 11 parts were the best, like the opening scene.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. Okay, final thought. This is about the comedy again, right? Because that's kind of the thing that got me, and that's about the writing, right? You don't want to feel like you're a fucking dartboard for jokes.
Yeah.
Or in this case, they're not really jokes. The joke is the absurdness of something.
Yeah.
Or how weird or quirky it is.
Yeah.
You don't want to feel like you're a dartboard where they're throwing fucking shit at you.
Yeah.
And trying to make... I want to watch a movie with some of that in it. With characters that I care about to some degree.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
Yeah. I think that's kind of sums it up.
Yeah. Thank you for watching / listening. If the video is fucked.